As you know, our greeting is peace. We say God's peace be on you. In Arabic, it's Assalamu alaikum. We want to welcome everyone to our third Sunday Taleem. Masjid Bilal has Taleem on the first and third Sunday at this time. My name is Omar Shakir. I'm resident imam of Masjid Bilal Ibn Rabah in San Antonio, Texas. And we want to begin today's Taleem by reciting the first chapter in the Muslim Holy Book of Qur'an entitled Al-Fatiha, translated the opening. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. A translation is, I seek refuge with God from Satan, the rejected enemy, and with God's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer, the complete and perfect praise is for God, the Lord, keeper, sustainer, guard, revolver of all the systems of knowledge, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer, sole owner of the day of judgment. You alone do we worship, in thine aid we seek. Show us the straight way, the way of those on whom thou hast bestowed thy grace, not the way of those who have earned your anger, nor the way of those who have gone astray. Ameen. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa amma. With God's name, the merciful benefactor, the merciful redeemer, we thank Allah, praise him. He's the Lord, keeper, sustainer, evolved from all the systems of knowledge, as well as the Lord, keeper, sustainer, evolved from all the world. I bear witness there is no God worthy of worship except God. And I bear witness that Muhammad is his slave servant and his master. So dear family, again, we welcome you, special acknowledgement and welcome to our non-Muslim guests that might be visiting us. As you know, on Friday, Jummah prayer is our formal day of worship. Sunday is a Taleem. It's kind of an extra thing that we do with the hopes and intentions of propagating the faith and familiarizing the non-Muslim public with the beautiful deen or religion of Islam, commonly called Islam. So this is less formal. We want you to sit back and relax. We look forward to an interchange or an exchange. Taleem is a word that means to instruct or to teach, but it also implies learning. It implies knowledge. So with that, dear family, we have taken a break from a topic that is crucial and very basic and fundamental in Islam, and that is the articles of faith. What do you Muslims believe? And our non-Muslim friends are going to see that our beliefs are similar to the beliefs of our Christian and Jewish brothers, and perhaps even others. But we will explain how we perceive it. Remember, Muhammad the Prophet, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the prayers and peace be on him, when he began his prophethood, he was at a gathering, and the angel Gabriel came to the gathering and began questioning him about the religion. And the prophet, upon him be peace, answered several questions. And the angel Gabriel verified the accuracy of the answers, helping us to understand things like, what is Islam? What is faith? When will be the final day of judgment, etc. The point I'm making is, when you talk about the pillars of Islam, when you talk about the 6 articles of faith, you are talking about what is fundamental and basic at our very foundation that everything else is built off of. And if you know anything about Islamic history, dear family, these pillars, these articles of faith built civilizations, strong civilizations that lasted In one case, almost 800 years, I'm talking about Moorish Spain, which is a very important time for the cooperation between Muslims and people of other faiths. The establishment of Al-Islam, the introduction, of science and mathematics, and all of these wonderful things that the West today benefits from. I don't want to go much longer. I'm not the speaker today. We are blessed to continue something that we started a couple months ago before Ramadan, called the 6 Articles of Faith. What do you Muslims believe? And we have already covered Tawheed, the unity, the uniqueness, the oneness of God. And we started to unpack the belief in the angels, the Malaika, the angels. And that is where we're going to pick up. We're going to pick up a more in-depth look at our belief in the angels. What does that mean? How do we perceive that? And I'm happy to present to you and introduce to others our dear sister who has taken on this challenge. And it's a challenge of love. It's a challenge of a labor of love or endearment, because our sister loves this way of life so much. And she's a worker in our community. And we thank Allah that she is willing to share her knowledge on this very important topic with us. So with that, I yield to my sister and I give to you our dear sister Arlicia Armstrong. Let's bring her on with a round of takbir. 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 Takbir.
And thank you all for having me again. Initially, when I started on the articles of faith on the angels, I thought I was finished, but I was listening to the Imam Shakira speak on the articles on Muslim 360 and on Facebook, and I realized I'm not finished because the angels, we come across the angels after death, and that was something new I wasn't aware of. I know that we have an angel that records on the right, records our deeds on the left, but there are more angels after we pass away that we have to, that we will meet. And just an overview of the beliefs in the angels, which is the second article of faith in Islam, is the belief in angels who are creatures usually unperceivable by man. Their functions are to obey Allah, carry out His orders, convey Allah's messages to the prophets, and help believers in moments of distress, record individuals' deeds, and console believers, among other functions. It is true that angels are invisible to us, but we have to believe in their existence because we have to believe in God and accept whatever He tells us to accept. In addition, there are hundreds of beings invisible to us, but science tells us that they do exist, although we do not see them. And lastly, the existence of angels is mentioned in the Holy Qur'an and preceding revealed books. When an individual believes in Allah, he has to believe in whatever He informs us about. Therefore, the existence of angels, one of the angels is Jibreel, peace be upon him, who conveyed Allah's message to the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, and to the other previous prophets. God says in the Quran, the apostle believes in what have been revealed to him from his Lord, and so do believers. Each of them believes in Allah and His angels, His books, and His apostles. So we as Muslims, we can't believe in some of the articles. We have to cut it all go hand in hand, and we build upon those. So we can't pick and choose, but we choose. So when we talk about the angels, a lot of times we see pictures of wings, and people think about angels. They come from the word Jah, and this means wings. And when I was reading about wings, how it coordinates with man, it was referring to when we pray and when we're on the floor and how our hands are in front of us and we bend down in prostration to the floor, as we have seen Moses and other prophets have done. But our hands are not on our arms, our elbows are not on the ground, but they're out to the side like wings, like a bird. So sometimes people say someone's wings have been clipped. It means that their strength, their power is gone when we hear that kind of saying. But Allah also says in Quran, in Surah 17:25, that we should humble ourselves and be submissive to our parents and never say a word of disgust to our parents. And another section of Quran about sin and disobedience is Surah 2:35. So Allah says, again, never to show disgust towards your parents. I will be humble and submissive. The angels' duties to man, this was even before Adam was created. In ancient Michael, he was responsible for natural events. There's another angel called Ra'ad, R-A-A-D. He's responsible for thunder and lightning. So I just want to share this first before we get into the other aspect of the angels, that the angels was here before man and he's there after we leave this earth. And they all have a duty. So what causes man to fall? And I'm backing up a little bit because when I was here last time, we kind of borderline and talking about the jinn, and I think I need to clear up that which I spoke about in reference to that. God knows best. So what caused man to fall? What are the causes that lead man to deception? So this is about what causes us as a human being on earth to go in the direction where we're going to go after we live this life. And we want to make sure we don't fall into any of these in any kind of way. And if we do, it's just a reminder of what we need to strengthen ourselves. One, superficial outlook and heedlessness. People may not think about they're going to be responsible for the things they do in this world just because we can't see other people can't see what we're doing, but Allah sees everything. Angels are recording, so you just can't live your life as if you're not going to be responsible in the next life, because you will see it in the book when we leave this world. And so this is not the end. Two, not thinking about the aims and mysteries in the creation of man. Some people think we're just here taking up space and all this doesn't mean anything. So we have to change that thinking and not think that it's a mystery. It's like magic, because it's not. And Allah created everything, and even though we may not understand about how Allah did it, we just have to believe. That's just the bottom line. We have to be a believer, which is one of our articles of faith. 3, strong attachment to the fleeting pleasures of this world. Some people may live as though they think they have all the good, the money, they have enjoyment in this life, but they don't think about the pleasure of the next life, whether they're doing something that pleases Allah or themselves. So we have to be mindful. We're here to please Allah, not ourselves. 4, remain indifferent to the truth conveyed and taught by the prophets. Some people have a difference of opinion. When you tell them something the prophet said, they have something else to say. And when it comes to when the prophet says something, that's it. They were the examples of how we're supposed to behave as human beings. Allah would put a man on earth and not give us a manual on how to conduct ourselves. Just as you buy something in the store, you always get a manual. So it doesn't make sense that we're put here and we don't know how to behave ourselves. That's why he sent the prophets and the angels sent that message through the prophets. 5, being affected by materialistic propaganda and indoctrination. A lot of us, we all been indoctrinated in this world to think how this world wants to think. Well, Allah gave us 5 senses. Well, really 5 senses plus the brain makes 6. We are above creation, and we're supposed to behave like it's something up there. It's not just sitting up there, look pretty and decorating everything, but to use what's inside of it.
That's right.
6, to compare Allah Almighty to His creatures. How can you compare Allah when you don't? Nobody knows what Allah looks like. Allah created everything, so it's not worth even trying to compete with someone saying something so ridiculous like that. I'm sorry. I can't think of a better way to say it. 7, not to know that the sacred nature of law cannot be grasped by mind. That's why you just have to believe. You have to believe. 8, being forced to understand the entire realm and existence with the 5 senses. And we all know the 5 senses, and sometimes some people can't see, some people can't hear, but we still have our other senses. And Allah talks to us through our senses. Sometimes, we may pray and ask Allah something, and Allah's not going to talk to us, but He will give us some kind of sign or something within our 5 senses. Let us know, okay, Allah heard me. Allah is making this happen because, He knows what's in our hearts. Even though we may not say it to anybody out loud, but when Allah makes something manifest, we realize, oh, Allah heard me. I have to be mindful of what I say when I ask Him. Because Allah knows best. Allah's all hearing, all knowing. 9, man disobeying Allah by abandoning worship, which is his natural duty. A lot of people don't know that's what we're here for. And, I didn't even know it when I was growing up. But I know now that through my children and through other people that we are here to be a guide to make this world better for everybody else. And Allah, and that was the reason why Allah created us, because He created jinns and they messed up, but then they procreate and they have and they're here too. So so I'm gonna get a little bit more detail about that. And lastly, not applying the authorities in religious issues. Sometimes we think we have something to say better than what Allah says, and then we think we're gonna win a conversation. That's my defense. Somebody has something to say that I don't agree with. I say, well, Allah knows best, and I'm gonna leave that there.
There you go.
So why sometimes reason people don't believe? Because they're bad habits. They love their bad habits more than their good habits. They feel good about that. They don't think nobody's gonna be accountable for that. They have a hardened heart sometimes because of whatever they experienced in the past. They want to generalize and put it on everybody else, like it's everybody else's fault what happened to them, which is not right, but it happens. And then we have people that's just ignorant, which means a lack of knowledge. Some people don't want to know, and some people, we don't know who want to know from the people who don't want to know. We just have to say it and allow God direct who He pleases. Another one is knowledge, abuse of knowledge. Some people try to use knowledge to whip somebody. They try to use it to their advantage, even though they may not be correct in what they're maybe saying. But there's another. Let me say this: abuse of knowledge. I'll say abuse of knowledge is using some knowledge against people, and they don't have the natural nature of the knowledge of themselves, and they're taking advantage of people. And we're not supposed to take advantage of people. We're supposed to help people. And worst, and Allah says in the Qur'an that the worst oppression is mental oppression. So we have physical oppression, but that's temporary. That pain that go mentally and go generation. So we're supposed to always not abuse knowledge and to share. And another extreme, we're supposed to share knowledge. We're not supposed to hold it back, because if we share knowledge, we get the blessings of that knowledge. So we're not supposed to just have knowledge and keep it to ourselves, but we're not supposed to abuse it either by taking advantage of people. And the next one is another reason why people don't believe. They're materialistic. They think they did everything themselves because they did everything right, and they're able to reap a lot of materialistic things that they think they don't need a lot. So they think that they're self-sufficient themselves. But everything submits to Allah. Even trees, everything submits. Because even if you see a tree, you see the shadow on the ground. They're submitted to Allah. So if you see the building, you see the sun, you see the shade from the building, it submits to Allah. Love it, you want to or not. Allah, we don't have any choice. We're going to submit. want to or not. And then other times people have lack of faith because of trials. And they don't look at trials as a way of growth. They look at it as if they're being tormented for whatever they're going through. They don't look at it as if Allah is giving us He's giving us trials. He tests us, and then we pass the test. Then we don't have another trial. But if we didn't pass it, trial again.
Yes,
and some people don't get it and understand that Allah is just trying to increase us and make us greater and stronger. And some people look like, I can't pass this test. I can't. The same thing keep happening. Then what they say, when something happens and you expect the same thing with something, it means that, I'm not saying right, but how can you expect better results if you're doing the same thing wrong, and have the same trial over and over and over? That's insanity, right? So we have to grow beyond the trial and see what Allah is trying to tell us. He's not going to talk to us personally. He's trying to talk to us through our five senses. Wake up, hello, anybody home? He's trying to do that, okay? And another reason why people may not have faith because they're just full of vanity and pride. Like they can't see anything beyond themselves. I remember Malcolm X said the hardest thing that for him to do when he was in Saudi Arabia was to bow down to him. He said that was the hardest thing he could do because he just said it was the hardest thing he could do. Okay, so now I can talk about Iblis. And some people say, well, he's an angel. Okay. Iblis. And then last time I was here, I had shared something that I learned. And I have to say that a lot of people that I have met in the past, they're not from America. They read Arabic. They have books in Arabic of information that we don't have here in English. And so I just have to share what I want to share. And I have commentaries from 3 different people. But really the bottom line is Allah knows best, and well, but Allah says about the angel. Because Allah, we already know that Allah asked the angels to bow down and Iblis didn't because he was from the jinn, and the word jinn comes from Jannah, which means they were a group of people that was in heaven, and they were over the gates of heaven, but they were cast out, and they lived in the earth before man was created. So Allah says in the Bible that before that the earth was full of darkness, and then there came light. So these people, these jinns who lived on earth before man, they felt like they learned the knowledge of the earth and the science of the earth. So when Allah created man, said He's going to create a man, they didn't think they really needed a man or something else because they knew everything. And so when Allah created man, and now I read this that He created mud, and He let it set for 30 days, and so Iblis came and stepped on, went on in and back from, and he said, and I'm kind of like just making it real short, and he said that I would never respect you, that I just disrespect you. I don't have no respect for you. You're not better than me. So when Allah created him, so created Adam and told him about, at least he didn't feel like that he needed to, because he felt like he was better than him because he created fire and Adam created a clay. So he asked for Allah for respite, I know I'm talking about the angels, but I'm just going back and forward. And so he has no right on the judgment, and he will lead those who are not true followers of the law astray. So we don't want to be amongst those people that goes astray because they are recording on the right hand of God. And the Imam is going to talk more about the jinns. Again, he mentioned in Jumu'ah that he will be speaking on the jinns. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the angels. First, I did mention the angels that's responsible for angel he's in control of natural events. He controls the events in the real in this world. So I'm going to talk about the angels, what their responsibilities are, what their duties, their actions, and what Allah gave them permission to do, and what specifically they do, and what the Quran says, and where it's located in the Quran. So Angel Miguel manages the divine work of art, the planted on the earth, on the field of the earth, with the power of law and his order. So, for example, pouring rain, blowing wind, ordering seasons, and manage supplication of created things. So when I'm outside and the dirt is so hard to live when I'm planting, and so the rain comes down, I'm like, oh, I thank you for Angel. Now it's easy to break up this dirt and stuff and plant my plants. So I'm thinking about these angels now. I'm talking about these angels like we have a personal relationship. So I'm really enjoying this. So he's in charge of supervising all creatures in the world on behalf of a lost condition. He represents to the things of the unconscious beings as a conscious being. He also worships continually by supervising the grants of the law. So this is what the angel does. That's what he does. And Tel is one of the archangels, and he's mentioned in the Bible. He's mentioned in the Jewish religion. He's considered to be the great captain, the leader of the heavenly host, and the warrior helping the children of Israel. That's what it says in the I believe I've read that in the Bible. And he's also mentioned in Qur'an in 13, Surah 13, dash 11, ayahs 11 to 13. Another angel, like I had mentioned before, it was the angel Ra'ad, R-A-A-D, and he's responsible for thunder and lightning. Thunder is one of the angels of Allah who is entrusted with the clouds. He entwines shreds of fire, which he drives the clouds wherever he will. I've been watching some of these Smithsonian events about these almost these catastrophes in the air, and how these people are praying so much, and it's like a few seconds before they're almost into their death. I just want to give you an example. This plane was about to hit the ground, but it was water in front. And so these people are praying, like, oh no, they're about to hit water. And so I started thinking about what the angel going to say. And I said, maybe a lot. So I said, but flatten the tires. And then they flattened in like 8 seconds. And it stopped the plane going in the water. And the people, nobody died except one person on the plane. So all these different events makes me think about these angels that exist doing their job. It's just a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the angels when the angels after we pass away. The first angel, where he did worship duty, and he's in charge of conveying the order of the law and prophets. Okay, first off, the Jibril, he conveyed the prophet, the revelation to the prophet. and it's playing also lots of years. So that's what. So Jibril was the one who's always talked about in the Bible, in the Torah, and in Islam. Okay. So now we're going to talk about death, and the word for death is Mawt, M-A-W-T, Mawt. Again, it's about the angels that we meet at these times of death. So, the first angel is Israel. And his name is spelled A-Z-A-R, Azariel. So these angels are known in their original language, in Hebrew, and their names are mentioned in the Bible. And he is the angel of death. So when the term expires, they will not be able to delay the punishment for a single hour, just as they would not be able to take the souls of people when death comes, to come and keep them by the mission of law. So his job is to take the body once we stop breathing, and he protects our souls, which are our most valuable possessions. So since we're talking about it right now, we have to live as though we're thinking about our souls after we leave this world. We can't think about the pleasures of this life. We have to think about our souls. At least at my age, at 60, that's what I'm thinking about. I'm trying to do as much good as I can, trying to get my blessings wherever I can. So we won't have no fear or hardship. At least the true believers will have no fear or no hardship. And the angel Azrael, alayhi salam, says to Allah, your slaves will complain about me and will be offended by me because of my duty to take their lives. And Allah says, I'll put a cover for this portion. So what he's saying that when he does his job to take the souls, some of the souls are not ready to go because they don't know where they're going to go. They know they didn't live their life right. So now they trying to hold on to the body. But Allah's letting it go. So the angel is sad, kind of hurt that he's trying to do what Allah wants him to do, but at the same time, these people are complaining. They're complaining about him. So he put up Allah said he put up a shield between them. And this is in Surah 32:11. It's in Surah As-Sajdah. So it said the angel of death is charged your soul. You will take to your soul, and then shall you be brought back to your Lord. So that's what it says in Surah As-Sajdah. Okay, the second angel is angel Israfil, and he's the angel of the trumpet. So the Qur'an talks about the two trumpets being blown. So it blows 2 times, and he has to do it by the permission of Allah when it's due. The first one is doomsday. All the beings in the heavens and the earth will die, and the second is the resurrection will occur. The second blowing of all the dead will be resurrection. So it sounds like to me that Allah is showing what he can do before he even gets to the point of knowing what's your destination. Because he's still showing this is what he do. He can make everything live, die. At the same time, he can resurrect everything that has already died, raise it back up. So it's kind of like Allah is kind of like letting you know, okay, this is what I do. The prophet was asked about the nature of the trumpet, and he said, a horn that is blown. And it's mentioned in the Quran in Surah 50, 20-21, about the trumpet being blown. The third angel is Munkar Nakir angel, and it's appointed to interrogate people in the grave. So when this angel comes, the person's grave won't be able to recognize this person, or the custom. They come to the dead. They come to the dead in a way that he or she has not seen before. Munkar questions man after he dies in the grave about his religion, his beliefs, his deeds, etc. The two angels question the dead and treat them according to the answers they receive. Nakir question, who is your Lord? Who is your prophet? What is your book? These angels, they expand the graves of believers and make them spacious, free believers and free the believers of loneliness and become intimate friends with them in the grave. At the end of the presentation, I'm going to share a story that someone sent to me, and it's a story. It was quite interesting. The fourth angel, Karama Katabin and Jati, their responsibility. These are the two angels on the right, Harvard and the left, and on the right, and Marvin on the left, on the side of humans. So, as Muslims, we're always conscious of our deeds and trying to do the right thing. The angel Rakib, alayhi salam, on the right, records the good deeds and our manners, and the angel Aslan on the left records the deeds of our bad deeds and manners. These angels are called Hafasa, will attend as witnesses of the deeds of humans on the day of judgment during reckoning. So by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, thinking of the rewards of his good deeds, speaking of after, while we're on earth, and thinking about it in the hereafter. He feels kind and the pleasures of the hereafter in paradise, even in the world, because you know that you live your life where Allah wants you to, and you have no fear. He said, no fear, and no shame, breathe. Especially when you know you're trying to live a good life for Allah. So we should have peace on earth. We have and face in paradise. So they have this song. Boys and men have this song. I got heaven right here on earth. So if you're doing the right thing, you can have heaven on earth. Then you have an opportunity to do it.
Yes, ma'am.
Amen. So believers who are inclined to do bad things, who are inclined to do bad deeds, refrain from them, from bad deeds, oppression and aggression, thanks to the belief of the angels saying there are angels, Allah's angels that are recording what everybody do. So if we think about the things we do, say, we think about those angels. So that in my mind, it keeps me straight and making sure I'm trying to do the right thing. And that's in Surah 50, 16, 16 to 18, and also 82, ayat 11. And it's one of the 99 names of Allah that H.A. Wahba, ever living. He gives life. And another name, El Movement, taker of life. So these are the two 99 names of Allah. Okay, the next one is Rewind. It's the Garden of Paradise. Welcomes, so this angel welcomes the righteous who prophets have been blessed by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So we have Angel Malik, which is the means messenger or courier, and his job is celestial and spiritual messages. So it also says that he's responsible. His duty is for hell, and that's his duty. That's his job. And then we have another another angel. This last angel is Hafta, and then sometimes it's spelled Hafasa, depends on how it's translated from American English. But it comes from the word Hafiz. But this angel will attend and as witnesses of the deeds of humans on their judgment on earth. And that's still in Surah Al-Ra'd, Surah 13, 11. So, before I became Muslim, I used to think predestination and Allah. At that time, God knows what we're going to do, go to it, keep it good. And I used to think predestination, and we're all sinners, and we can't help but do wrong. And I think too many people still think that subconsciously. We've been indoctrinated to think that we are just, we can't do no better than be a follower in this world instead of being a leader and thinking for ourselves. And I think that's just mental oppression. We need to fall back down to mental oppression. And as Muslims, we have to let people know that really we have 6 senses, not 5 and 6. And the brain is 6 senses. So we just have to keep people mindful that we have a brain, it's up there using things. And I used to think that God knows where we're going before we die, due to a lack of understanding about the correct moral behavior consequences of our previous actions. So I used to think that everybody's gonna die. I mean, everybody's gonna die, but when we're all going to heaven, I used to always think that. And I didn't have no idea about more how you live your life, which direction you're gonna go with you. So I'm just so thankful.
Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar.
I have clarity of mind, clarity of heart, and I'm just thankful. I'm thankful on so many levels. Allah knows my heart. Allah make things happen when I don't expect it. I'm like, oh, Lord, hear me. Then the things I pray for, it didn't happen. I just say, I'm just grateful.
That's right. That's right. Allahu Akbar.
So I kind of cut it short. I don't know how much time I took.
You still have time, sister, if there's something very significant that you want to share with us. Yeah. We know that it's hard to really complete any of these topics. They're so deep and broad and comprehensive. So, alhamdulillah for what you've done. If you're comfortable, alhamdulillah, we're comfortable. Yeah.
This is like a combination of judgment and following predestination. So it's like a combination, almost like all the articles of faith, all in one story. I am lying on the bed. My children, brothers, and sisters are sitting at my bedside. Some close friends are also standing and overlooking my face. Suddenly, I start to breathe heavily. Someone among the people sitting in the room is reciting the Qur'an. Everyone around is repeating with him. My breath begins to decrease. I open my eyes and look at something. The angel of death has arrived. I am preparing for the eternal journey. My mouth is open. My brother drops some water in my mouth. Maybe it's the Zamzam water that I had kept for the moment. Then everyone begins to recite, La ilaha illallah. I lost my vision. I lost my tongue. I even lost my feeling, but I can still hear. I can hear my loved ones cry in pain. I am not yet dead, but I'm almost lifeless. The angel of death does the final act and takes my soul with an intensive gesture. I have now left this world. All my wealth, cars, property, bank balances, contacts and connections are all gone. All my wealth are no longer used for nothing. My identity is my grave. I am called a corpse. My relatives are preparing for my grave, and some of them think that it is inappropriate to keep the corpse inside the house too long. The house that I myself built and lived in shrinks into space for me. My bath is being prepared. I came out of the enclosure for the last bath. My bathroom with expensive bath fittings is not for me now. I am wrapped in the white cotton shroud. I am locked in a wooden box, traveled to my grave. My dear car is not for me now. What then have I amassed so many worthless things for? Why did I lie to gain unnecessary wealth? It doesn't help me. Woe to me because I've wasted my life in vain. I forgot that my last trip is near and certain. Why have I sinned so much? Oh, I lost the game. Now stop imagining. It will happen to you and me someday. So let's be ready. Good deeds will make our journey and our life in another hereafter enjoyable. Remember, death is certain and so near. This world is just a short dream. Wake up before it's too late. Another beautiful hadith, Rasulullah. When a man dies and his loved ones are busy at the funeral, and an extremely handsome man stands beside him. When the corpse is wrapped, this man between the shroud and the chest of his face. When after the burial people come home, two angels, Munkar and Nakir, which we just learned about, right and left, names two special angels come to the grave and try to separate the deceased from the handsome man so that they can be able to question the deceased in private about their faith. But the handsome man said, he is my companion, he is my friend. I won't leave him alone anyway. If you are appointed for questioning through your job, I cannot leave him. But the beautiful person was represented in the Quran. He said that you studied the Quran in the morning time and night time. You woke up in the middle of your sleep and you prayed. I am that. He is that unrecognizable person that comes to you. So we want that to happen to us. That the Quran is what this friend that was speaking for him. Everybody would add something? It's probably
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Takbir.
Allahu Akbar.
Takbir.
Yes, I do have something to add. I was reading the Quran earlier, and it was in Surah 80, I forgot the ayah. And it says, woe to man, what has made thee reject Allah? And you so beautifully answered that to us today. When you was going through that. That's what I was saying. What has made you reject Allah? It's like, and you covered
Dear, go ahead, sir.
No, I just want to say that we don't want to be in that number who rejects a large number. Same goes marching in, we want to go with the
Dear family, we alhamdulillah, again, takbir. We thank our dear sister. I don't know if you all were looking at her face as she was teaching us. Did you see the happy face? You saw it, Evan. I told you she enjoys this. You know, she loves the faith and she loves sharing it with us. So praise be for Allah. Sister Arlicia, thank you. Now, don't go nowhere yet, but I just want to take a moment to thank you for that, and we look forward to more information as we unfold the messages and the books and the other things that you will share with us. Yeah, there was some definite insight that she gave us today. And the beauty of the references is that you can go back at your pace. And you know, we're not, teachers are not to give it all to you. We just whet the appetite, etc. Yeah, so what I intend to do is scan this and I'll email it to our list so the believers that are listening on or watching on Facebook, etc., they can get the benefit of this. So at this time, again, we have a few more minutes. Imam Isa added something. If someone else would like to add something to the topic or make a comment or ask a question of our sister. And I want you to know on Facebook, I'm also monitoring the chat. So if you would like to type something in that you would like us to share or ask Sister Arlicia, please feel free to do so.
Assalamu alaikum. First of all, I'd like to also thank you so much. This has just filled my heart watching you do the information. I felt so informed and on things that I just have read about over the years or have seen, but you need to be reminded. And that's exactly what I think we need more often than we realize. Is that once we've learned, we know, but we need to be reminded of it. And this was an absolute good reminder, especially for the age group that's kind of here right now. I don't want to talk about age, but it really was. And I appreciate your doing this so much. And I look forward to listening to, you know, the rest of the articles of faith, because this is really, especially and the best thing here, of course, is your spirit when you did it.
And I also want to share that I really had a lot of apprehension when I started reading, because I'm like, oh, it's something about that. I don't know how I'm going to make it through here. But it brought a sense of peace to my heart, because I knew that there was something greater to share, even with family members of non-Muslims. And to look at it as it's a blessing. And to look at your life, how you're living right now, and see if it's in accordance with the law's will. So I feel more comfortable about this. I really do. And even if I have to do a janaza, I love doing that. I've done it before. It's so many blessings. The person looks like they're asleep, and you don't even feel. I even had apprehensions about doing that, but once I said, oh, this sister looks like she's just asleep. So that went away. All this just went away, and this is paid to death. So
Yes.
I just like to share. I just like to just make it a blessing that, you know, and since I've been here in San Antonio, I don't know because I retired, but I'm so close to my religion, to the faith. I just enjoy everything that we do, and I'm just growing. I didn't grow like this in Houston. I think there's too many distractions and too many things to do, but there's less things to do, and I study more, so I'm enjoying it.
Takbir. Let me offer greetings to Sister Camila Abdul Hakim, Brother Anthony Abdul Haq, Al-Islam, the United States, Anissa Furqan. We return the greeting. These are the ones that have logged on and they're letting us know and they're greeting us and commenting. No questions yet or nothing to share, but I recognize these names. These are faithful supporters and watchers of the MBeer Facebook page, and we acknowledge you and thank you so much for your support, and we're praying that we're beneficial to you and your family. Ameen. Anything else for our sister?
Just did a great job.
I'd like you to elaborate a little bit more. First, I want to make an observation. You know, when you were telling us about the story of Iblis, and you were talking about Adam and what happened and the angels bowed, etc. I just want to say for the record that you can find this in the Qur'an, family. Surah Al-Baqarah, 2 in the Qur'an, starting at verse 30. Now, this is not the only place in the Qur'an that the story of Adam is mentioned, but this is the first place, chapter 2, starting with verse 30. And I want to encourage you to go ahead and go into that and go over that and even read some of the tafsir regarding that. So, our sister has given us many good references, but I just want you to know that that's where that is coming from. So, Sister Arlicia, would you comment a little bit more on the brain being the sixth sense? Is there anything more you can share with us on that?
Yes, sir. Allah gave us the sixth sense. He made us a million over the earth. He said that He made us the best of both. He made us above all His creation.
Yeah, so we can hear
He
you
made us
better.
above all His creation. So there's nothing in His creation that can talk, walk, work, and think to create things and do things that lower creatures can't do. That separate us. And I just think a lot of us have to break away from the indoctrination of this world, world's ideals, all this propaganda. We don't never talk about propaganda in America. We have propaganda every day on TV about buying stuff you really don't need. They go to the store, buy me, taste me, touch me, all this. Everything just appearing to your five senses, trying to get to you in one of those areas, just to take you away from yourself. So if we start taking control, moving away from the TV, moving away from the music, even if you listen to music, think about what they're saying. A lot of these songs, I say songs growing up, and now that I'm old, I'm like, I can't believe he's saying that. And so we really have to take control of our thinking and not be followers and not accept these subliminal messages that's constantly that's bombarding us through the music, the advertisement, all these different things on TV. We really have to just get away from it and just start realizing there's more to us than what is being shared, because it's making us followers and not leaders. And God gave us all the brains to think and use it to our advantage, and not let other people use it to their advantages.
Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Thank you, sister. May I share something else with you with that regard? And I'm going to call on the rest of you to kind of help me with this, because I haven't dealt with it in quite a while. But I'm reflecting on an insight from Imam Muhammad radiallahu an as it relates to the sixth sense. I hear what you're saying about the brain, and I'm almost hearing, I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but I'm almost hearing that the brain really is that defining aspect of the human being that also Adam represents. He represents our intellect, in addition to that original pattern. But when it comes to the sixth sense, I'm understanding it, not taking away from anything you've said, but I'm understanding it to also using the five physical senses and connecting them to something as abstract, where you're, because when we talk about our five senses, it's physical, hearing, touching, smelling, etc. But there's also a spiritual connection to that.
I agree, and it makes me think about fasting, because when we fast, we're fasting away from our five senses, doing the things that we normally do, listening to things we don't need to listen to, doing things with our hands we should be doing, looking at things we should be looking at. So it's like we're fasting from our five senses, some of the things that we should do, and focus on the things that Allah wants us to concentrate on. So I think about that when you mention the five senses.
Yes, what I'm actually attempting to say, I don't feel I'm doing a good job of saying it, is that it has more to do with a sensing and a perception. You know, like if you say, I smell something in the air, you don't necessarily mean that literally. And of course, if you're in the kitchen and you're cooking something, sometimes that phraseology is connected to that you're sensing something that is concerning you, or maybe making you afraid, or giving you caution. You know, we walked into a room and we say vibe. I don't like the vibe in here. See, that's intuitive. That's not physical. That's an abstract. That's a spiritual concept. So I don't want to say much more. It's just the idea that I think our sixth sense comes from the mastery of our five physical senses and connecting that to something intuitive or spiritual. That's the sixth sense, because it's not concrete, but it's still real. See, what you perceive and sense is real. Did that come out okay?
Is it right?
Yeah, I'm going to yield to you.
I'm hearing that, if you say that, how many times we've been in a situation or whatever it may be, and we said, oh, I had this feeling. I had a feeling like, or something is, you're missing something somewhere, and you all of a sudden something just in your, one of those senses that tells you, you need to check this out because something is going on. And to me, that's what we're talking about. Because you mastered the senses in terms of what the physical part of that is, the spiritual part of that. And having gone through what I did in terms of my own battle with cancer, I learned a lot about that. I had so many things come to me because there were 2 weeks there that I was kind of maybe unconscious in a way. I was out of it completely. But there were things that would happen, and I could remember when I sit down and I think about it, or that I would do things. My children said sometimes I would respond to something in a way they didn't know what was going on, and I just said out loud, because that's the only thing that I know that I could. I had no control on anything, to my knowledge. But there would be things that I know I need to do with myself, my body, whatever, in some way. Okay? I could sense it. That's all I can do.
Thank you.
Alaikum
assalam.
What that brought to mind for me was a teaching that came out of the Nation of Islam, the Honorable Muhammad. He used to say, and I'll qualify this by saying that in evolving from that original teaching, I understand that a lot of the language was what we consider at this point to be baby language, but it was still based in principles, knowledge, and understanding that we were to gain later as we evolved from the state of being not exposed to us to the state of learning the Quranic language. And what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said is that Allah created us by nature to have a sixth sense. And the sixth sense was that when you heard truth satisfied, that thereby you knew you were hearing. Since then I have learned that Fitra is the original pattern of us. And so therefore what he was saying was the original pattern that we were created in, no matter what happened, when we heard the call of the word of Allah, we would know that it was the truth because it would satisfy us.
Takbir. Thank you, Brother Doug. Beautiful. Beautiful. While you all are formulating your next thought, Sister Anisa Furqan, peace. She's commenting responding to your comment about you being retired now. She said, we are not retired, we've been refired. in the and towards fullness of Islam. She also says emulating the attributes of Allah Azza wa Jal. And lastly, she says our intuitive intellect and discernment is our gift, is our gifted wisdom from Allah Ta'ala. Allahu Akbar. Yes, my dear sister Anissa, thank you for that. Takbir. The last thing that I would ask you to clarify, when you were talking about like the angels associated with rain and different things like that, is it your understanding, sister, that the wind is an angel, the rain is an angel, or what is your understanding of that, sister?
Well, Allah says that He has angels here for mankind to help us in every way that we need. And even before man was here, the angels was here. And for the Jewish, for the Christians, even before the Africans here. So Allah had the angels doing their duties before we even showed up. He said in the beginning in Genesis that was darkness on earth and that became light. So, and the angels did, and the angels, they are made light. So Allah had all these different duties for them to do, and that was just a few of them that I mentioned.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and you got something, brother Imam? Because I appreciate that. What I just want to share is my understanding, not to take away from anything you said, but my understanding is not that the hurricane or the tornado or the wind or the rain is the angel. It is those forces that Allah uses to bring them about, the conditions. You know, you have to have certain conditions to have a tornado, conditions to have a hurricane, conditions even to have rain. And there's angels in charge of that. Now, I'm not saying I'm right, as you said beautifully, Sister, Allah knows best. I just wanted to offer that for your consideration. I don't understand wind, rain, to be an angel, but there's an angel operating behind that to make it happen.
And then there's some stories that Allah revealed even during the time of, I don't want to say Solomon.
Say it again.
I'm thinking about stories, Solomon.
Sodom and Gomorrah.
How do you say?
Sodom and Gomorrah.
Okay, Sodom and Gomorrah, where I saw this movie not too long ago for the first time, and because the people were wrong, he brought destruction to the people, and not only to them, it's just people in the past, Babylon, and all these people that has done wrong in this civilization. They didn't obey Allah. He brought some kind of natural devastation to the people, whether it was wind, fire, water. You know, Allah used those different forces through the angels to make His show Him that He's in control, He's in fixing everything, but they can't. I think about the stories of the past, of the wrongdoers.
Yes.
I know that some bad things happen to good people too.
Yes.
The risk of sounding I don't want to get too carried away. You know, as our Imam, Allah, the late, has taught us, angels are invisible entities that have a direct effect on the physical creation, such as cold or heat, gravity. The two angels, conscious and subconscious, writing down everything, understanding. But I'm saying that only to say that we have to believe in those angels, as our sister pointed out so beautifully. We have to believe in them. We have to believe in the articles of faith, so that any article that we don't accept or don't believe in, we are considered pretty much a non-believer.
Or at least something defective in our Aqidah, brother? Praise be. Any last minute words for us, Sister Arlicia?
I just pray that I said something that made people understand about death and that it's nothing to fear, but to prepare for the unexpected, because we know it's the inevitable is going to come anyway. So let's just be prepared and be a better person that can get the blessings. That's what.
I mean, again, thank you, Sister. May Allah reward you. We look forward to hearing from you next month. We'll continue this. Currently, we're meeting on the first and the third Sunday at, I say 2 p.m., but we make Salat first. So give us till about 2:15. We make our prayer, and then we'll be live on Facebook. So with that, my sister, let's close out. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. Our Lord, please don't allow our hearts to deviate now that you've guided them aright. And please continue to bless us with that special mercy from thine own presence, for you are the grantor of bounties and mercy without measure. Ameen. Assalamu alaikum.